Welcome to PAO Fans International. You're joined by Nick and myself in a special edition straight after the Shakhtar match. Nick, I can probably guess how you're feeling, but tell us anyway.
I am absolutely fucking buzzing. So this is as you said a very special edition because this is essentially a live match reaction. The penalty shootout is still fresh. The match just finished not long ago, so I'm absolutely ecstatic. We've wrapped up European football for another season. That's 3 years in a row now. Hopefully, it's going to be Europa League. That's been the aim all along. We'll get into the details and we'll analyze the second leg, but just so delighted that we're through. We just had to win at all costs. The performance wasn't great today, but what matters is that we're through.
Yeah, I'm absolutely buzzing. Considering that this week was meant to be a big podcast week with having a few guests to chat with. I've been bedridden with influenza the whole week, and then, I'm meant to be flying out today. That's why we're doing the special podcast now, straight after the game, because I'm leaving in a few hours. But wow, wow, I'm feeling less congested straight after that win. It's done miracles. The funny thing is, the last time I flew out towards Greece was when we beat Marseille in penalties as well. So what a good omen that is as well. Um,
And like I said to you, keep flying out.
let's get straight into the match. So we played Shakhtar away in Poland for the second leg of the Europa League. The match finished 0-0 after 90 minutes, 0-0 after 120 minutes, and we won it in penalties. 4-3. Just of note, Ocheretko for Shakhtar was sent off from the 81st minute. Nick, tell us about the game. Tell us the whole thing. So from 0 minute to penalties.
Really dull. Not much happened in both halves, really. Then I thought with the when they went down to 10 men, I thought that would spark us into life. We didn't even see that. It was really you expected us to start not so much slow, but you expected us to sit in, dig deep, defend well first and foremost, and then try building confidence from there on. So I'm not too angry with the way we started. It's what we failed to do with the men advantage. You couldn't tell that it was 11 against 10. That's what really pissed me off. As I said, the most important thing is that we're through, but if you look at the 120 minutes, this is the first time out of the four games where you can say there's a big there's things to work on. There's a lot to work on. Not just the defense wasn't too bad, but it's just the lack. I don't know. I can't put my finger on it. I wish I could come here and say what the issue is in that final third. Is it we just lack quality players? Is it a formation, a system thing? Is it a composure, a confidence thing? I would love to know. I really would. But today wasn't even that. Today was just a lack of chances as well. And I think, look, Maksimovic for me was my man of the match. You couldn't tell that was his last game for us. Such a pro. He's going to be a big loss for us. Um, really, he epitomized us today. Dug in and put a real shift in. The wide players, I think, let us down both Tete and Pelistri today, especially Tete. They just couldn't get in the game, couldn't really create. Belistri had a couple of chances, but nothing, nothing major. Then in terms of other chances, he had Vai, the ball fell to him. I thought he could have done better. I know he's not a noted finisher. I thought he could have done better with his chance in extra time. Yeah, that's the game was pretty dull. Again, just we, as I said, we failed to really even create chances when it was 11 against 10. And that's not the first time with Panathinaikos. It's been known to happen in the past as well. Then the subs were very confusing, as you were losing it, and rightfully so. When Gidiakopoulos comes off for Jeremejev, that's one example. Look, it all paid off in the end. Look, when it did go to penalties, I did say to myself, I fancy us just because we've got Dragovski and he's delivered. He's done it before for us. What's this now? We lost against Ajax, but he pulled off a lot of big saves in that. He delivered against PAOK where we won in the shootout 2 seasons ago, and then this one. Whereas their keeper was a bit, yeah, it didn't give me as much confidence as say Dragovski would. Our penalties. look, penalties are a lottery, but Zaruri, for instance, at least put it on target. Make the keeper bloody work for it. I understand now in hindsight the pressure got to him, but still, just put it on target. Forti's penalty was great. Mancini's penalty was even better. Terrific penalty, and I'm so glad that he's the hero along with Dragovski. And it's three Southern Hemisphere winters in a row where we've had penalty shootouts and all away from home. Marseille, where it was Mladenovic the hero, the marathon penalty shootout loss against Ajax, and now this one.
Yeah, yeah. This was a game of many sort of variables. So I thought we were outstanding defensively. The whole game plan was not to concede, let the game drag on, but not to concede. I think by that part we were brilliant in not conceding. We didn't even really give them any chances, like just the offside stuff that they had. There was another one that wasn't flagged offside, but VAR would have reviewed that and that would have been cancelled. But apart from that, defensively we were very strong. Dubar, Eric Palmer Brown really used their physicality on Elias, like their main striker. Now he's young and inexperienced, so they bodied him well. They just nullified him. That's what you got to do against that kind of kid. Um, a lot of their threat was going against Cortinas, and Cortinas was jumping into a lot of tackles, falling for the feints. And I thought, if we're going to get exposed, that's where it was going to be. But thankfully, we didn't concede there. Attacking and passing, I think this was our worst game, attacking wise and passing. We were very sloppy, especially Kyriakopoulos with the ball did a few like silly passes, silly easy mistakes, easy turnovers. Our passing was just not great. The midfield couldn't get it going. We played with the as a 4-3-3, and you expect the midfield to be tight, controlling the game. We just couldn't even do that. We just kept turning it over to Shakhtar. Tete was very, very poor. Very, very poor. He's a shadow of the player
Yeah.
that we brought in from last year. Palacio was solid. He was the one that was generating the most threat with any opportunities, but it was that lack of end product once again. I think there was a moment where Forti fed him brilliant through the ball and he just took one step too much trying to beat the defender instead of just trying to hit it. Even Swideski started, and I thought he was just being a bit clumsy himself. Like he couldn't really get going, and you can understand why there was no service at all. But even off the ball, he just looked a bit clumsy. While Forty came in, he did a few good things, and that's what I kind of expect from Forty to do. The Falls weren't getting the champion, but they're coming in, creating and working around them. That's what Forty does better. Maximovic was put in an amazing effort. If pretty much. So for those that don't know, he's signed a five, or we've sold him for 5 million to what's it called a Dubai
UAE,
team. Yeah,
Shabab, Al Shabab or
yeah,
something.
he's not going to Saudi Arabia. He's going to a
No.
Dubai, and he's getting 2.6 million, something like that. He's getting big wages. But can't fault him on that. And he put in a shift for the ages. Got to applaud that effort. The subs, I thought, kind of sparked us a bit. They brought in fresh legs. Um, but yeah, then they got the red card. We had that moment where we had 5 minutes of just penetration where Shakhtar just went completely in a shell, and then once they got comfortable, they looked again more dangerous, more threatening. We just needed to be on our feet. Extra time, same sort of story. We were defensively strong. We just it was like 11 on 11 essentially. We just couldn't get much going, and then penalties, it was just yeah, it was just written that we are going to go through just from the first penalty. The guy hit the post, but Dragowski picked the first three penalties in the direction. He was just unlucky not to keep him out. That was the unfortunate thing, but Zaruri had the opportunity to win it. He didn't, but Mancini thankfully did. Thankfully, he's probably redeemed himself a little bit amongst PAO fans, getting that. And you can see in my picture, you just see also Zanvelas also running the pitch. He's the best. I know he gets a lot of hate association by Alafouz or Sam Papanzim, but he wears his heart on his sleeve. Zanvelas is is hilarious, and like you can see, he's probably the first on the pitch from the bench to do that. So all in all, it was a big scalp. there's like official accounts that a couple of days ago put us projected to the Servette in the Europa in the Conference League. Being bit disrespectful. So I did call out a couple of accounts on that, a bit of disrespect there. But we did get the big scalp, and we are guaranteed Europe, whether it's Europa League or Conference. That's going to see because we know our next opponents. It is Samsunspor. The Turkish Mongolian team there. We do play them at home first. They did qualify straight through. I think they won the Turkish Cup or something like that. Or
No, I think they came third in the league.
yeah, they overpunched. So um, that's what it was because I think Galatasaray won the double.
Besiktas, yeah, had a real poor season, I think, and they came third.
Yeah, so there's not a whole lot to go by this team, especially judging by the framing. It's not really good something to form out. They did win on the weekend in their league 2-1 at home against some team there, some farmer team in the mountains. But I just went through their squad list. There's really no notable players. We can only go with what I can see. And when you look at it at their squad value according to transfer market, that 36, 37 million, we're almost three times their limit. They're what they are. So there's no one really worth more than 4 million euro on there. And so what that tells me is they're probably a well-drilled team. No egos, no big players, but they work hard. So I think that's something that's gonna, be an interesting matchup because we're sort of in the same boat, except for we probably have a lot more quality in our players. We're a very disciplined team, and I expect the same thing from them. So I think we're gonna expect a pretty interesting matchup because we came up against what Rangers, who yeah they've smashed by
Listen,
scoreline Pleasant and now into one game or one tie away from qualifying for the Champions League. Um, so, our form on that basis is pretty solid when you look at the opponents that we've had to come through. So, Rangers and now Shakhtar. We're pretty battle ready essentially. So, um, by that said, look, I would favour us for the win for the to go to Europa League. It's probably the easiest tie we've had in a while in terms of oppositions, but you can't take any of these for granted, especially against well-disciplined teams. You got to be very cautious. So that game is in 2 weeks, on the 20.
next week.
Oh, next week. Sorry, 21st. So sorry, the return leg's in on the 28th. Yeah. So that's obviously something to look for. Also, a few days after that game, we do have Orphe as well for the kickoff of the first round of the Greek League. Now, Orphe looks like a decent team this year. They had a pretty good preseason as well. So usually we started poor last season. We copped a loss at home. So let's hope you know against Orphe that we don't drop the ball this time. We start strong. It is a few days after our Europa League game, but it is at home, both games, so there's not much travel involved. Um, yeah, how do you see the next two games?
Stumson Sport, as you said, we're for me we're the clear favourites. I don't know about heavy favourites, but we are definitely favourites, and I do expect us to go through. Definitely, as you said as well, can't take them for granted. Um, Look, what I want to see against, especially in the first leg that it's at home, hopefully we get a big crowd. I think by then the Jakopes are over. They're returning to Athens and all that. Hopefully we can even exceed the Rangers crowd. We'll see. The fans to get behind the team and the team to start on the front foot, like we did for 3 out of the 4 games that we've played so far. Start fast and create chances, but this time I want to see the end product and hit the ball find the back of the net. Orphe's going to be trickier because we know what to expect with them. They're going to come sit in deep, make it hard for us. We struggled against those low blocks last season. This season, however, we do look like a much improved team. Mentality's there, defense is there, as you said. We won't crack under pressure the way we did last season. Our first three games this season are very well. We have to win. We have to go 3 out of 3 to start our league season on paper, definitely, because I think it's the Gravity fourth round at home. So we've got to be 3 from 3 heading into that game.
Yeah. Sorry, my little one's just going to school.
Say bye, Daddy.
So yeah, he's going to school right before we go and then pick him up early. But yeah, you're right in that. So look, it's nothing so granted in these games. The significant thing also for us beating Samsung Sport, I should have mentioned, is not just for Europa League, it's the guaranteed 4.3 million euro that we get just for making it. All that helps with the cost control, the issues that we've had with cost control, and obviously with Europa League as well, and improving the cost control. We can probably bring in better players. We're not forced into a fire sale either. If especially if we failed to beat Shakhtar, we would have been in a really bad spot. Um, we would have had versus Servette, and then imagine we don't progress against Servette. We're
Oh,
in major strife. So,
I don't want to think about what would have happened if we lost today, if we didn't get through in that shootout. Yeah, because then Servette would have been like a Lon scenario last year. You're playing for your life. You're dropping down a conference. It's already a fire sale. Who knows who you have to sell? And then Victoria's on life support as well, not knowing our owner.
yeah, yeah, and I think this win would is a major boost for a vote of confidence in him from the owners. And against Samsung Sport, I expect a huge crowd for multiple reasons. Obviously, one game away from or one tie away from Europa League, and obviously just the nature of the geopolitical, the fact that I expect a big crowd, and it's going to be Oaka will be on fire that day. So yeah, we'll just wait and see because the good thing is, and something that I've been crying out for, and it's actually happening. It's actually happening today. He's arriving in Athens. Is Calabria? We've been begging and screaming for a right back. By all accounts and reports, Calabria is heading to Athens today. The former AC Milan captain, right back at the age of 28 to maybe do a medical and then sign as well. Um, Obviously, he's a great player just by resume. How do you see him before I delve into it as well?
The resume is fantastic. Winner as well. Won the Serie A. Won even he was on loan at Bologna back end of last season. Won the cup there as well. Winner. You would think he's got a great mentality, leadership. It's going to rub off on the rest of the team. My only worry is the fact that he's only 28. In theory, he should be at his peak. He hasn't really had an off season. The injuries, that scares me. The fact that he's going to come in. How well is he underprepared? How well prepared is he? We can't afford to waste time. We need him to start against Samsung Sport. That's the thing. On paper, it's especially as well that you get him for free. That's great. Obviously, his wages aren't going to come cheap. He's got big shoes to fill in Vayanidis. He's not. I don't think he's a Vayanidis type player where he's going to bomb up and down the pitch the way Vayanidis did. But if he can keep himself fit, he's going to be a solid leader and just to keep us solid, keep us in our shape defensively.
Yeah, yeah. Look, any player that you're getting from Italy comes with a pretty good background, irrespective of top or bottom team. We saw Jurisic, who's been pretty solid for us, came from a team that had just gotten relegated. And I think also Kyriakopoulos, who's fairly good player as well. He's been a very good left back for us. Um, Calabria does come with, captaincy at AC Milan, so he has come not just from any Serie A team, he does come from AC Milan.
I think
And Bologna were pretty much top end of the table as well. I think, what, fourth, fifth or something thereof?
their first trophy in 50 years, and he was a part of it. And I
Yeah,
think he made over like something like 250 appearances at AC Milan.
exactly. So you're talking about a player that's got a lot of experience and 28 years old. There's obviously question marks about his injury, history of injuries. There was also I read something that he's also someone. The reason why they let him go was obviously he talks to the media. Was something that I read about him as well. So that's
I didn't
obviously
know that.
for you.
Got-
Yeah. So that's
Knowing
something
the Greek
obviously.
media, he's got to watch it.
Yeah, but I think he's in a different sort of country,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
being foreign, he's gonna be all right. In terms of that. But yeah, look, I'm very happy with bringing Calabria, and he's not the only right back that's heading. Or I can't say that's heading away, but that's rumored for us. There is a guy from Sturm Graz named Johnson, Scottish player. Only touted very quick. I know a lower team in the championship or something, Derby want him, but
Derby.
um, there's a lot of great scouting on him from all accounts. Very quick. We're talking faster than Vianini in terms of top speed as well, from all accounts. Have you read much into it, or what do you know about it?
Yeah, so I just from the little I read, it's like he's got big upside, huge potential, huge ceiling. He's one of those players that he's the remit for us was to bring the average age down and to bring the wage bill down. He ticks both of those boxes, so you can get him and sell him for a huge fee should he do well. Um, and I didn't know that the fact that he was lightning fast. I didn't know he was faster than Vayanidis, for instance. So if he can come in and offer something different to Calabria, that horses for courses. If you got a tricky European away game, Calabria. If you got to break down a low block, Johnston, for instance, I would love for him to come in, irrespective whether he comes in or not. We need a second right back as well, for sure. There's been other names as well, Pablo Maffeo. I'm not sure how legit that rumor was, but even if Johnston seems to be the front runner for now, even if he doesn't come, expect another right back for sure.
Yeah, I think it
And
was
he's
between.
already played for Scotland. He's not
Yeah,
young. Sorry, he's
yeah.
not old. He's made his debut. That was against the Ethniki, against Greece, in the home leg that we lost to him. He came
Yeah.
on as a late sub.
So with Maffeo, I think it was between him and Calabria. Obviously, uh, both we had agreements with the agents. It was obviously up to the player to decide where. Obviously, Calabria chose us over Lille because Lille was interested in bringing Calabria. Maffeo, I think, wants to stay in Spain, so we opted obviously Calabria. But yeah, you're right. Max Johnson has two caps for Scotland. Is 21 years old as well. So there's a lot of upside to him. It'd be very handy to bring him as well. It's not something that would interest, me as a fan to bring him in. Um, Obviously, we know the situation about Maximovic. He has been sold to UAE team called Shabab Al Ali, not to mix it up with Shabab from Saudi Arabia. So that deal's reported worth 5 million euro. Um,
Great money, isn't it?
yeah, we got him for free. He was on decent money with us, but he's getting a huge pay packet, and we've gained 5 million from him as well. So gotta be
It's
happy with that.
ecstatic. Great business from a financial point of view. Now it's going to be a football point of view. How we replace him.
Yeah,
We waxed lyrical about him not only moments ago. How influential he was in this game today. Whoever comes in has huge shoes to fill, and Papa Dimitriou has to find the replacement ASAP.
yeah, because now with him gone, I don't know because we've seen what happened with the delay with the right back. We played 2 weeks, 2 games against a high quality opposition with Cortinas at right back. Not to disrespect Cortinas, but he did appear at times a bit out of comfort zone and targeted by Shakhtar. That was the very much our weakness if I'm going to go there. And all three of our goals that we've conceded in this campaign, all three against Rangers, came from the right hand side. So whoever we bring on that right back needs to be very good, and we needed to address that. So hopefully with this eight situation, we get that fixed straight away. Now the Unahi stuff is just frustrating. If you're a Bale fan, there's a majority that are begging for him, love him, whatever. I'm over him. because we've gone through this whole saga of waiting for Marseille to accept the offer that Unahi wants to come to us. It's just a matter of finding the financial ground with Marseille. After about a month, and this was only revealed up until yesterday or the day before, where we reached an agreement with Marseille. The rumor was 8 million plus 2 million next year to bring that total of 10 million that Marseille was wanting. Only for Nahi to say, oh, hold on, boys. I'm waiting for a top five league offer. Uh,
Alitis.
we're halfway through August. We don't have too much longer in the transfer window. We need to have contingencies. We need to say, okay, Unahi, thank you, but no thanks. We've got priorities that we need to cover because we're 1 week away now from, very important ties. Against some sport at the start of the league. Unahi's been training in the reserve grades, not even getting first team, not even getting match practice or anything like that. So I think it's too much risk for a player that is telling us, oh, and then he's gonna go to the
AFCON.
AFCON in January for a month. So I'm very disappointed with that, and I think we're still. And there's fans there that are saying, okay, let go sign for us, whatever. Let's pursue him still. Come on, we have to be come to our senses here. We've only got a couple of weeks left on this transfer window. We've got big ties. We can't hold out for a player that's not match ready, that hasn't, hit his peak or his fitness or anything like that. So um, it's very, very dangerous waters we're going, continuing to pursue Unahi and not have other options available.
Yeah, yeah. Look, I said it when we were last on. We had to have started looking elsewhere by now. Keep Unahi in the background. I'm not saying rule him out completely, but we should have definitely have set a deadline to both Marseille and Unahi himself. We had to be advanced by now, if not had someone through the door already. And then you look at Unahi later down the track, if you can get him even on loan again, because he's going to miss AFCON. He hasn't had a preseason. A loan again, he's a lower risk from a financial point of view for us. Even if it's a hybrid player, someone that can play as a striker and as a 10, or someone that can play drop deeper as an 8 or a 10, something like that. I would have looked for someone else and try bring Unahi later down the track. Now the way it's become a circus. That's the only way to describe it. It's you know what we're going to do. We're not a well run club, so we're going to wait until the 31st of August, 1st of September. You watch.
Yeah, and that's why I said we shouldn't pursue it. He's told us, hold on, now I'm looking for a top five club after all that
And
time. Nah, sorry, we can't
look,
wait. We've got to address our issues. That's where the conversation should have ended, in my opinion.
And he's a great player. He would have made a difference, but that's not to say you can get a player that can do a job and fit in Rui's system equally as good, that will come with half the money and that will still do a job for you and be available year round from start
Yeah,
to finish.
exactly. And a player that was mentioned that has high value as well was Pereira from Udinese as well. So the Brazilian, he's I think 28, I believe. I think Udinese are looking for that 8-9 million mark for him. He can play that sort of role there. So the two we were looking at, Robertoni as well from in Spain. Solid player. He's a
He was
solid.
more for the Maximovic replacement
Yeah.
though. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think he's looking to stay in Spain as well. That was a name that apparently they said we made an offer, but I think when they say we made an offer, I think it's more an inquiry. Say to how much would it take for him to come to us, not an official offer. So those are the main sort of transfer news there. Do you have any? Did you read any other names that you saw?
Uh, in terms of nothing in terms of incomings, in terms of outgoings, Fiorentina is they're gonna monitor Ioannidis. Then I saw this morning though, so they were 15 million. They were going to come and make an offer 15 million. We wanted Alafuso said he's not going to sell for anything less than 30. I
25.
saw somewhere floating around on Twitter X this morning during the game that we're not going to start negotiations for anything less than 25, 30 million.
I think that's the correct process. Forty has a contract. We set the asking price at 30 million. So with that, and I agree with the stance on the club because if we had set the his market value at 20. They're going to come offers at 10 million. They're going to come lowball regardless. They're a bigger club, bigger league, so they don't want to spend too much to bring a player of his quality, but obviously they want to bring him in. So they want to do these unsettled tactics by bringing these low ball offers. Now, the club did the right thing setting at 30 million, so it weeds out these lower ball offers to say, no, we're not interested. Like, I honestly think that Panathinaikos is willing to start talking anything above that 22 and a half mark and over, to be honest. I think that's where the serious conversations will happen. There was also something with Leeds. I don't see him going to Leeds.
No.
Leeds is going to drop. They're a team that I think they're looking more to bring in Dominic Calvert-Lewin from the former Everton striker. I don't think Forty will go to a team that's going to be favourites to drop. They're one of the three favourites to drop in EPL as well.
Remember last year when Ipswich came after him, was it Leicester and Southampton as well?
Yeah.
He wasn't interested, so I don't think that's going to change anytime soon. And with Fiorentina, if he, that would be appealing to him as well, closer to Greece, more culturally similar as well, and they'd have European football.
Yeah, but the thing is, there was a lot of talk with, I think it would have been contingent on Kane going to AC Milan, but looks like AC Milan signing Holgun from Manchester
Oh,
United obviously has a downflow effect where I don't think Fiorentina will make a formal offer
yeah,
unless
I
they'll
think he'll
pair
stay.
them up in a 3-5-2, whatever fancy formation they play. But uh, yeah, like I said, anything less than that, 22. I think the figure we're looking would be more at that 22 and a half mark to entertain any conversation. I think that 25 to 30 is just to like piss, all the weak bids off.
Look, I do think he'll stay. Honestly, I don't think any huge fee will come in for him. And B, now, if something comes in, a low ball offer, we've got more bargaining power. If we can get through to Europa, we can offer the player a high level of European football. The cost control what will be less of an issue as well. And I think well, you don't want to lose Vayanidis and Ioannidis in the one window. That would be catastrophic
Exactly, and
because you're losing two Greeks as well that come with that.
we don't need to sell him either.
No,
As we're going in the if we progress Europa, we probably need to keep him because there was a lot of crap you read on social medias about strikers, everything plays Sudesky. The two games that Sudesky has started has shown me why Forty is the starter. Well, none of them have scored. That's fact. I'm not going to argue against that. Strikers are based on goals, but the modern forward these days provide a lot more than just scoring goals. It's providing, holding up the ball. It's looking how to play, bring other players involved, and that's what Forty does better. Well, he's not getting the chances. He's not scoring. I can't even argue against that. He's not scoring the ball. As we've seen today, no striker would any have a chance. You could have put, Sesko up there. You could have put Isak up there from Newcastle, and they're not going to get any chances because the ball's not going that way. But from what you see is at least Forty comes back. He found that through ball to Pelistri. There was another one as well that Maximovic actually ran onto the ball and he hit him. It
yeah.
was a great ball. If it had just rolled past Maximovic, he would have been through as well because the defender was already wrong foot. So that's where Forty does add value. It's not something that I saw Sudesky do at all. I just saw him lash out at a player in a clumsy tackle, and that's it. But that's about it. But um, yeah, let's see, especially now with this progression over Shakhtar, what that means for player signings as well. So, um,
We need two by the end of the weekend.
yeah, yeah. Well,
Calabria plus someone else, whether it's another right back or a number 8 or a number 10, someone.
yeah, yeah. And I think the club is going to be moving on to that, which was contingent on this result. So, um, you know, just to recap, it was a brilliant win for Panathinaikos, and I think from there, we can hold our heads up high and look forward to the next time. With seeing the positives of keeping the same coach, Rui. This is what I stressed over the off season, even the end of last season. We all said it. We need to keep Rui. It's that part of that consistency. Maintain the flow, the players, the tactics, everything like that. So, and that's what's happened. We kept Rui, and you're seeing strong, resolute defense. We're seeing the Ivan days of that strong defense, and then we obviously it's gonna come. Like the offense is gonna start clicking slowly.
It
But
has to. With
yeah,
Pelistri, Daruri, Tete, Ioannidis, Jurisic, there's enough quality there for any coach to make it work, surely.
I think there will be progress. I think, but
Surely.
we've seen defensive failures the last 2 3 years, 2 years post Ivan was even Terry. Our defense went downhill because we were just playing all offense. And last year under Alonso, it was just vamos, I don't know what I'm doing style. While Rui's come in halfway, is tinkering around and things are coming through.
We all whinge. I whinge. I was whinging all morning with the lack of goals, the lack of goals. But first and foremost, you want a good defense. That's
Exactly.
not always the number one priority. And Rui has got that down pat. The mentality, the structure, even his to bus signing that we were worried about, we were skeptical of. He's fitted in seamlessly. I didn't expect Palmer Brown to start with him as well. Palmer Brown's been
I
good.
would for that.
Kiriakopoulos, great addition. Dragovski, Lafon won't see many minutes if Dragovski keeps going.
Yeah, Jagoski's been in good form. He's been pretty solid.
Ever since the first Rangers game, he was bad. Look, the friendlies, he worried us. But come first competitive game, he's been on fire.
Yeah, yeah.
Probably been our best player across the 4 games.
He's been a standout. Him and Maximovic and Pelistri would be the three standout players for sure. And Kiriakopoulos will round out top four if you're going top
Yeah.
four. There was a special mention, but yeah. Ah,
Just ecstatic we're through, eh?
yeah, exactly. It's a great result. And
And we never do it easy.
nah,
That's the thing. We never do it the easy way. Imagine if you had told us before this, you're not going to score a single goal, but you'll go through.
exactly. You'll still progress. You'll still progress. But the thing is, yeah, I'm not flying out on because I'll be in France. I'm not flying out the day that we play Samsung's for, so I fly out the next day. So let's just see. But from the American boys will have the next pod as well. We'll be able to break down the next games. But from there, yeah, we look forward to the next game. Obviously, the next few days, what that means for the club as well. So, Nick, pleasure has got to start packing, which I've
Καλό tαξίδι.
done
That's
that.
what I'm going to say. Καλό tαξίδι. Get onto your packing. Enjoy your holiday. Hopefully you bump into some bowl players. I know you're going to go to the Ethniki game.
Yeah, there is something special that's being arranged. So I won't divulge on it too much, but you already know. That's yeah. Hopefully, yeah, I won't get to see any games unfortunately. Just the times don't line up. But I'll be at the Greece Belarus game and hopefully can get some pictures to share. But yeah, I'll be posting as per normal, and yeah, everything will be as per normal. Nick, pleasure. Taleme, thank you.
Καλό ταξίδι.